Hey guys, Willie James from DreamHouse Music. Today's tutorial, we're going to do the song Your Tears by Bishop Morton. It's an advanced tutorial, so you should know all your extended chords, dominant chords, those kind of things. I'm going to do a quick playthrough, break down the chords to see if we could understand what's going on. It's basic gospel progressions, but the keyboardist really colors the chords. It's not going to be an exact note for note breakdown, but like the main structure will be there. So let's do a quick playthrough quickly. Pardon me if I mess up because there's a lot going on here.
Your tears are just temporary relief. Your tears are just a release of the pain. Your tears are expressions that can't be controlled. A little crying now is alright, but after a while you won't have to cry no more. Don't you worry. No. He's gonna wipe every tear. Don't you worry. No. He's gonna wipe every tear away.
Let's start from the top. I think it's Rodney East on piano, if I saw the video correctly. But he starts like, well, let me play because it's still fresh. So that timing is ready. He goes. That's what he does, right? So he's walking up the C scale from the 5, more like a pentatonic, G, A, C, D, E, F. That's the melody line, but he's keeping this G, this high G here. So very interesting coloring with this line. Instead of just playing, he goes. So when you hit that D, D, and G, E and G, F and G, and then when you hit the F and G here, I'm hearing a 2 chord, so this is a 2 minor. right? D minor. It's advanced tutorial, so you should know your chords, right? So right, so he goes in between the 1 and the 2 chord. Ba, 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 ba. He creates a harmonic move here. Right, it's just a C chord, then 2 chord, or the D minor. Right? Ba, 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 ba. That's something, I heard something like that, right? So, sorry. Okay, so it's basically a 2 to the 3, right? But he's coloring, right? He's creating melodic lines, right? So very nice. So ba 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 ba. I think that's what he does to go into the 4. So what we have is a 2, 3, 4, really, right? If you listen, well, let me call out the numbers when he's playing. 2, right? Here's the 3, 1 over 3. Now to the 4, and then this line. 4, 3, 2, 5, 1. Then 4 for 5. Back to the 1.
Your tears.
Okay, very nice. So you could slow that down and rewind, but let me go back to where I was. Right? Now to the 4. I think he goes da da da. We're just playing with the C scale, right? Right, now the chord here is, if I put it in the chord chart, it's a 4 major 7th. Right? And if you look at the 4 major 7th, it's just a C chord over F. So he's playing with the C, G, E. He's breaking up the chord. And you can do octaves to make it sound pretty. C, G, E. And in my left hand, I'm doing a stretch 10. Right? So F, A, C, the basic triad, moving the A up, creating this bigger chord here. If you can't hit it, you have to do just basic inversion, or you could do something like an add 2 to make it sound pretty, or you could do F, C, G. Right? And then he goes, right? So he's just playing it with the 1 and the 2 chord, right? But in inversions. Here's the 1 chord, right? So da da da. That's just a 1 chord, 2 chord, back to the 1 chord, 2, da. Right? Right? That's where he does it. Where is he doing that? Right here. Right? Da, 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 da. Very nice. And then, so we're doing drop 2s, right? Well, I'm not sure if he dropped the 2, but you could play the drop 2 in the left hand. So that's the drop 2. This drop 2. So you're just doubling up, really, right? And then. That's what I picked out. It may not be exact, but very nice coloring. Okay, and then he just does a walk down 4, 3, 2, 5, 1. Yeah, so 4, 3, 2, 5, 1. Right, so hit my 4. I'm playing like this. Okay, so it's a big 4 chord, just an F major, really spread out. The left hand we have F, C, G, so it's like we're doing the add 9 there. And then with the 3, this is a 3 minor 7. I think that's what I'll put in my chord chart, 3 minor 7. But I'm doing this. I kind of like this. It's like a G over E, but I'm adding a C, G. But if your hands are not big enough, you could just do a basic 3. And then 4 over 2, which is a D minor 7. And then 2 over 5, like that into our 1 chord. Okay, so right, right, right. Those are 3, 2, 5, 1. I wasn't sure what he's doing there, but he goes something like this. I know he's just breaking up the C chord. That's all he's doing. But he goes something like. And again, the point is not to do note for note. You can do note for note, but like to understand the structure, you could kind of change things up or do your own, right? But he's just playing with the C chord, so you could have went. Right? You don't have to do exactly what he does. And then he just does a G and G octaves. And then he does this big C13. Is that what I would say? Yeah. In the chord chart, I would put this is really a C C major, C69 actually. That's what I put. So 1. I'll put 1 major 7 and then 13. Yeah. Oh, I can't change the chord chart. But instead of this basic 1 major 7 or 1 major 9, you could do a 1 6 9, right? I'll change that later. But basically you have a 1 3, the 6, which is also your 13, the 9. And there's our 5, right? And then he goes, your tears. Let me hear what Rodney's doing actually. Right? Back to the 1.
Your tears.
Right? Oh! He does something like this. It's like a G chord to an E minor. But he's doing some really stacked chords. So it's like a G to an E minor with the D. Here's our E minor with the D. I think that's what I heard in his left hand, D and B, which is just a broken form of the G chord. So he's mimicking what Bishop sang, your tears, which is a G E, right? But he harmonized it, right? Your tears, right? Very nice. So this is your. In my chord chart, I'll put a 5 minor 9, but it would be a 5 minor 9 sus because we have this C here, right? But you guys know this chord. It's a G minor. This 4 is an 11, right? Is that right? 11? Yeah. So I'll put G minor 11. I put 5 minor 9, but really it's an 11. This chord here, right? Very nice. You could play F, A, B flat, C as well. Right? Or like this, or like this. Okay? Really spread out that chord. And then.
Just temporary.
So when he says temporary, it's just this big 13 chord. Right? So we have the C dominant. Here's the 9. So the 1 to 3, the flat 7, which is dominant, the 9, and the 13. Oh, just temporary. And then Rodney does a run here. Woo.
Temporary.
Woo. Something like that. Something like that, right? Something like that, right? So that's just a pentatonic. Right? So 6, 5, 6, 5, 2, 1, 6, 5, 3. Right? That's just the pentatonic scale. C pentatonic. Right, that's the timing. And this is all done. No. So we're landing on the major seventh of the 4 chord, the 4 major seventh. Okay, so he knows that, so he's doing this run because he wants to land back to this E, so he could play that 4 major seventh. Well, I'm doing a 9 because I'm playing the G. All right, which is like a C major over 4, right? Right? Sorry, I'm not doing that as neat as I can, but that's what that is. And then he goes,
your tears. Woo.
Now we do a little bit of a key change. Da 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 da. We're like playing a C minor scale into this chord here. This is a flat 7. Well, it's a B flat. Here's our dominant 7. Here's our 9. Here's a 3. And here's our 13. So it's a B flat 13, basically. Right? So we walk up, da 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 da. So this is after the 4 chord, and then da 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 da. And then we do a passing on this chord here, which is our 2 minor 7 flat 5, which is like a F minor over D. So in my chord chart, I write a 2 minor 7 flat 5 or 4 minor over 2. Da 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 da. Right? If you listen.
Every time you try to raise your
Sorry, we have an ad.
Oh, just temporary.
Okay, here we are. There's a walk up into that. All right, very nice. 2 minor 7 flat 5. You hear that? Typical gospel run. So when you're on this 2 minor 7 flat 5 over the flat 6, the A flat, right? Remember, the 2 minor 7 flat 5 is the D minor 7 with the flat 5, but we have the flat 5, A flat on the bottom. He does this run. Right? So, okay. So you're like, it's, these are E flat chords, so. I just think of it as we're starting from the 2 of E flat, okay? 2 chord of E flat, and then the 1 chord in E flat, back to the 2 chord in E flat. And then this is the 7 chord in E flat. D and F is the diatonic 7. Right? Alright, so it's like you're going in between the 2, the 1, and the 7 in the key of E flat. Alright, so really know that. I don't really know the technical name, but that's the run that goes into a 1/5, which is a typical gospel move, right? So
of the pain
that's just a 6. Well, it's a 5/6. Or I put a 6 minor 9, right? Which is a G over A.
sorrow
Sorry.
of the pain.
At the end of pain. Something like that. Then we go into this 2 chord. It's a 2 dominant sus, right? Well, I would write 2 dominant 9 sus, something like that, right? Which is just a C over D, C major over D. And then it goes into, you could do that, which is like a B minor over D, C, right? Over B minor over D. Okay, which is like a D6, right? Or D13 if you play like this. Okay, so very nice, big, lush chords. Right? All these movements, this sus chord into our dominant chord is leading us to a 5.
Sorrow of the pain.
Pain. We go to sus.
Sorrow.
Sorry. Okay, Rodney does some interesting movements. Here we go to the 6.
Of the pain.
Here's the 2 sus. 13, and then dominant. I think he sings grief here. It was a 4 over 5, which is a F over G. So of the pain. Of the pain. Right, that's what he does. Okay, so interesting movements all over this D, the 2. 1 over 2. And then we have the 13, which is like a B minor. And then we just have a straight D dominant. And then he goes 4 over 5, which is an F major over G. Well, voice like this. Okay? Or you could say it's a D minor 7 over 5. But voice like this. Very nice. And then there's a pause.
Of the pain are just a release.
Let me play right here.
Of the pain. Sorrow.
Dominant. There's space here. Then he does this walk down. Right? So he goes, it's basically the C scale. And he's just going down. And he lands on the B, which is the top note of the C major 7. Or you could do a C major 9. Or the 13th that I talked about, like this. So you have different ways to voice that chord. But this is the bigger way, full way, right? You have the 1, the 5, and the 3 spread out. Spread 10. Woo! It's like a G over E with that A, which is the 13. Makes it sound really nice, right? Right? But that's a nice run. Right? It's just octaves, right? Sorry, I missed the timing. Right? Now Rodney does a run here. Something like that. But he starts on E to A, and he's doing a melodic, sorry, C pentatonic scale. I don't have the timing down, but he kind of goes like really fast. Right? After he hits the 1 chord. Listen again. I like it. Boom, 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 boom. He's sick. Boom, boom. Right? Okay, something like that. But I would cut it to halftime if you want to learn it. But that's what it is. And then it's just basic gospel progressions after this, right? So let me see here now. That's the 1. So the bass player is going 6 2 5, right? Those are standard progressions. Okay, to our 5 minor 9, right? Here's our 6, which is A minor 6. And there's our D dominant 9, 2 dominant 9. Okay, there's our B flat over G, which is our 5 minor 9. Right? So the timing.
Your tears.
Right here. 6, 2, 5. Back to the 1. And then, so we're just sitting on the 4 major 9. I put 4 major 7 in the chord chart, sorry. So F, A, C, E, G. But you could play with like with the top of the chord, right? The C over F, which is a 4 major 7. Here's the major 9, C, E, G. But you could, right, do something like that. So if you're in the C scale, this would be 3, 2, 1. 3, 3, 2, 1. While I'm holding the 4 in the left hand. Or even slide into that D. Right, little colorings like that, right? Very nice.
Expressions that can't be controlled.
He does something like that. All right, he goes. Sorry. Into that 4 chord. That's what I'm hearing.
Expressions that can't be controlled.
Right? Did you hear that? Right into that 4 chord, right? Very nice.
Can't be controlled.
Huh?
A little crying now is alright.
So back to our chord here.
But after a while, you won't have to cry no more.
So this time around, this is what I'm hearing over the B flat. You could play this or you could play this. So the A flat over A flat major 7th over B flat, or you could do the flat 5. And then you do that run.